It's recording and it uses that speaker up there just in case you want to be saying something about somebody else or something like that. Okay, so y'all are gonna need that you're gonna need this little, you got it, y'all got it, awesome.
They need this too, right?
Yeah, you will eventually, hopefully. We'll get you one. There's some right there if you want to go ahead and get it. This little worksheet right here. All right, so just a quick review. You with me, Kat? Some quick review from the other day. Let me get my little notes in front of me. Keep this moving. Okay, so we started from the very beginning and we said that independent clauses have subject-verb relationships in them. They're a complete thought. Subjects are always nouns or pronouns. You have lots of nouns and pronouns in a sentence, but not all of them are going to be subjects, Anthony. It's only a subject if it's in a relationship with a verb. Otherwise, it's just some other noun or pronoun. You're not worried about it. Okay. Oh, subjects are never in prepositional phrases. You're going to see today where sometimes the prepositional phrase will tell us a little bit about what the subject is, but we're not worried about that right now. Prepositional phrases don't have subjects in them, and they don't have verbs in them. All right. They're going to start with a preposition. They're going to end with a noun. Lots of things can happen in the middle. Remember yesterday we did this one. We've got this word that ends in T-I-O-N, right? And I said if it ends in T-I-O-N, it's a noun. And we're also learning to ignore things when we're looking for subjects and verbs, like prepositional phrases and descriptive words like that. All right. So go down to this one. And you can work ahead of me. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to do everything I'm about to do to a sentence, but you can. So I'm going to mark out the prepositional phrases. So that's a prepositional phrase, and you've got a list of prepositions right here. If you don't have this sheet, there's some of them, and there's some right there. And then I'm going to pick on cat today. Cat, I'm going to mark that one out. So that's two prepositional phrases in that sentence. Now, cat, looking at this sentence right here, number one, when I mark out these two prepositional phrases, what do you have left that could be the subject? That's it. That's all that's left. And a lot of times when you mark out the prepositional phrases, whether you do it physically or mentally, all you've got left is one word basically that can be the subject. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something now and I'm going to add something to it another day, not today. But if your subject is singular, you're going to have an S on the verb. There's only one Mercury, so it's going to be is. Okay. Singular, Mercury is. That gets tricky too. A lot of times you can go by the sound. And some people do fine with grammar. They don't know why they know it. They just know it. But I'm going to pretend like y'all don't know anything. Okay. Number two. So I'm going to mark out. There's three prepositional phrases. That one's gone. Nothing there can be the subject. That's gone. And that's gone. That's two prepositional phrases in a row. All right. So Anthony, looking at number two, what's the only thing left that can be the subject after I marked all that stuff out? It's okay to be wrong. Orbit. That's it. That's all that's left. We don't care what it is. It's not in a relationship with a verb. Orbit is singular. So the verb has to have an S. Singular subject, S on the verb. Okay, cat. If your subject is plural in any kind of way, you cannot have an S on the verb.
So like the bridges.
Exactly. It might end in S. It might be a word like people. Now, people means more than one, doesn't have an S on it, but it's plural. I could say Cat and Anthony. That's two people. That's plural. So
No S.
no S on the verb. Okay. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to stop talking and let y'all get the rest of the answers. However you get them is fine with me. All right, so that's gone. It's set off in these commas, so it's not a subject, but it also happens to be a prepositional phrase. That because of is working together. So that's gone. Now, this is not a prepositional phrase. It is what's called a subordinate clause, this little thing right here. It's got its own subject and verb in it. We'll talk about that another day, but I'm going to get rid of it for right now. This is a prepositional phrase for sure. So it's gone. So what's left again to be the subject? Mercury. Singular Mercury. What's my verb? That's it. All right, now, Cat, they're not all easy like that, all right? So y'all go through and pick the answers. If you have questions and you want me to talk through something, all you got to do is say the word, and then I'll be doing mine. You got to find the actual subject that's in the relationship with that verb. I know Anthony's done, but I'm going to give everybody else a second. We're going to talk about indefinite pronouns for a quick minute. One thing I mess up on, Anthony, is I get to feeling like I'm going too slow and I go too fast, and then that doesn't work. All right. If you got the wrong answer, change it. If you don't understand why I picked what I picked, tell me, and I will try to explain. If you think I got something wrong, and tell me. Somebody have? Kat, how'd you do? That's good. I'll take that any day. You missed one, right? We don't have to be perfect. Do we have to be perfect?
It's on a number. Yeah, that's the one I missed too.
Planet's going to be my subject, and it's singular. Planet singular. All right. What else we got? What else did we miss? Number 4. On the planet there. See, myths. Myths got you. I can see that right now because it's closest to the verb, right? So we want to be thinking, okay, it's right there. Boom. Myths got an S. Can't have an S on the verb. But the actual subject is planet, and this is a prepositional phrase.
Number 3 moves.
Yeah, because it's, I got it in green. You can't see it, but it's moves.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget I can see it, but y'all can't. Anything else? All right. There's not a lot to write, and I'm going to kind of clip through here. I'm going to try not to go too fast. But we've already talked about how prepositional phrases, and you just saw it happen. Prepositional phrases will get between your subject and verb and fool you and make you think you're doing something right and fixing something when actually you might be messing something up. So watch out for those prepositional phrases. We're not doing that today. We're doing this right here. Okay, you write down whatever you want. What I'm gonna ask you to write is this little chunk right here if you want to be writing. Indefinite pronouns refer to things in general. Like if I said everybody, I'm talking about everybody in this room in general, or everybody at EMCC in general. That's what an indefinite pronoun refers to, not a specific person necessarily. Okay, they get tricky though. That's why I'm talking about them. So this is what you need to know when you're dealing with subject-verb agreement. If a word ends in one, body, or thing, it's singular in grammar. Now, Anthony knows that if I say everyone, I'm talking about a bunch of people. You know this in your head and your common sense. Everybody means a whole bunch of people. But grammatically, everybody means every one body at a time. That's why it's singular. If your subject is one of these, it's also singular, and it does not matter what's in the prepositional phrase that follows. If one of these words is your subject, it is singular. All right. I'm going to do a little bit like each here. Now look, Anthony, each right here is my subject. Each can also be an adjective. I'm not going to bother you with that right now. Each right here is my subject. Now classes is plural. Classes is in a prepositional phrase. And the rule said that if each is the subject, it doesn't matter what's in the prepositional phrase. The word each is singular. And I said that if the subject is singular, you're going to have an S on the verb. Stay with me, Zay. You with me? All right. Same here. Singular subject, prepositional phrase does not matter. S on the verb. All right. Write these down right here. These are always plural. Now I might say, I ate both pickles. Well, both in that sentence is an adjective. It's not being a subject. But I might say, both are mine. Now both is being a subject. See here, both is being the subject. Anthony's like, well, it's still describing, right? Well, yeah, it is. But I'm just telling you, it's sitting in the subject seat. This can't be the subject because it's in a prepositional phrase. And both is always plural. And I told Kat, I made a promise to Kat that if your subject was plural any kind of way, you cannot have an S on the verb. If I go too fast, tell me. All right. Now write these down right here or type them, whatever you're doing. Now these can be singular or plural. I don't predict that you will have any issues with this when you're writing, but just in case, I want you to know this. These can be singular or plural. This is where you got to look in the prepositional phrase to see if it's singular or plural. And Kat's like, what are you talking about? How can most be singular or plural when it obviously looks like it's plural all the time? If I have some of something, obviously I've got more than one. How can it be singular? Well, here you've got it right here in the very first little example. Most in this sentence is your subject. Of the cake is your prepositional phrase. Cake here is singular. Now, if I said most of the pieces of cake, now pieces is informing my subject. Pieces is plural, so it would be most of the pieces of cake are gone. But here, most of the cake is gone. Cake is singular, so most is singular. Therefore, we have the S. Here, most of my friends, get it up here. All right. So, Kat, yes, sir.
So the verb depends on like whether or not it's singular or plural in this situation.
For just this situation. So if it's those other ones, you can count on them. They're singular or they're plural, and that's the end of that story. But with these particular ones, you got to look in the prepositional phrase. So like Kat in this sentence, Kat, you know the friends are the ones that are doing the knowing and they're doing the dancing. You know this. But grammatically, the word most is what your subject is. So you've got to see what's in the prepositional phrase to decide if most is singular or plural. Since you've got friends and most is referring to friends, most is plural. So there is, if it's plural, you cannot have an S on the verb. Okay. Look at exercise. Flip your paper over. Exercise A, we are not going to do exercise B right here. All right, so you're going to have these things that get between your subject and verb. This is a relative clause and a prepositional phrase. Boom, that's the relative. You don't have to know that. And just a dependent clause right there. And dependent clauses will have subjects and verbs in them. And then there's a prepositional phrase. So both of those are gone. Anybody, your subject, exactly, because if a word ends in one body or thing, it's singular. When you get to Miss Perkins and you're doing pronoun antecedent agreement, that's going to be serious. I'll tell you later about pronoun antecedent agreement. We ain't worry about that today. All right. Here, this is gone. Prepositional phrase. Subject is everyone. We know it's singular. So what's the answer going to be? Likes.
So number one, number two.
With the S. With the S. So likes and these, because they are singular subjects, S's on the verb. Now here, Kat. I like picking on Kat. Kat. Of the students. Prepositional phrase, but now we got the word most, and most is one of those tricky words. So is most singular or plural? Plural. So if my subject's plural in any kind of way, prefer. All right, y'all do the rest of them. I don't care how you get your answer. You mark whatever you want to mark. You got questions, ask. Sure, right? Both. Then we're going to talk about pre-writing, and then Kayla's going to come over and kind of hang out with us. Y'all need to kind of get to know Kayla and be comfortable with her. Anyway, so that when you do, when we get into Comp 1 and hopefully we're able to keep her, maybe we'll be able to keep her some in the summer too. But you want to go ahead and knock that Comp 2 out if you can. All right, we ready, Anthony, for some answers? Anything bothers you, let me know. Kat, how'd it go? You did good. Excellent. Excellent. Everybody. All right. I know it, oh, you need to look, Anthony. I know it probably seems simple, but you will be surprised when this kind of stuff pops up in your own writing. And because sometimes I'm sitting there looking at it going, well, wait a minute, is this singular or plural or what's going on? Now, sometimes I just have to rewrite the sentence and just so I don't have to fool with that word. Okay. Page 7. Yeah, I don't think you have anything to write. I just need you to focus and pay attention. That's all I need you to do. Okay. I'm not tookey about a whole lot of stuff. English is a tookey subject anyway. It's real particular. It's like you got to have this here and that there, and it's got to all, everybody's has to look the same and all that. And I try not to be as tookey about a lot of things, but I am picky about pre-writing. But I'm going to show you exactly what I want in your pre-writing. Now you can produce pre-writing all kinds of ways, like bubble maps and all kinds of stuff like that. If that's what your brain likes to do, you can type it, you can handwrite it, all kinds of things. But there are certain things I want on your pre-writing and in your pre-writing, and some things I don't want, and I'll show you that too. But there's lots of steps that can happen in pre-writing, and everybody develops their own way of doing things, and that's fine too. I'm going to ask you to do two things, and that's going to be the pre-writing, and you may have some different steps that go along with that. And then the temptation is to turn in the first draft. I got this paragraph written, I got this essay written, get it out of my face. I don't want to look at it anymore. But I'm going to nag you and annoy you and say, hey, I want you to mark 3 questions. Now, I want you to mark the subjects. I want you to mark the verbs. I want you to do Control F and find this and find that, okay? And then when you're finally sick of that paper, then you'll turn it in. All right. Now, why do you pre-write? Well, some of the pre-writing the ideas you generate, Kat, you don't even use them. But you get them out on the paper. You're like, okay, I got this topic. I'm going to jot a bunch of notes down as fast as I can. And then I'm going to come back and organize them. I'm going to get rid of this idea. I don't like it. But then I thought of something else and I'm going to jot it down. I might use that idea. So pre-writing gives your brain just a second to go, okay. It's kind of like, I guess, watching film before the games, right? How much film y'all watch and how much talking about the game and different players and moves and stuff. It's like that. You don't just show up to the game. You do a whole lot of planning first. Solve some problems before the game ever happens, right? Okay. So this is what pre-writing's for us. We're going to solve a bunch of problems because in the pre-writing, I can look at your plan in like 10 seconds and go, okay, 1, 2, 3, looks good, you're good to go. Or I can go, well, hold up, I see a huge problem with paragraph 2. And then we can fix it before you've written 500 words. Okay? So that's what pre-write, yes, sir.
We pre-writing about the sleeping thing.
Yes, the sleep, okay, the warm-up topics, and y'all got to help me with this because I'm encountering this problem here and there. So we do the warm-up, the little sleep thing, the little warm-up exercise, and it just gets us to kind of thinking about sleep in general, even though we did focus on a specific topic, which was nightmares and dreams. But it's supposed to just activate your mind and thinking about sleep in general. Okay, and then we move from that warm-up to the pre-writing. Now, the pre-writing topics, you can talk about nightmares and dreams in those videos or whatever in your pre-writing if you want to, but you never have to refer to that information again if you don't want to, okay? It's just a warm-up. It's not like it's two totally different things, but they are more loosely related than directly related. All right, so let's say I don't ever give you a one-word topic to write on, but let's say I did. Let's say I said pizza. Write an essay on pizza. So Kat's like, oh, okay, let's see. What do I know about pizza, right? It is good. It's too good. Then you got all different kinds of pizzas. You have breakfast pizza, dessert pizza, weird pizzas like taco pizzas and barbecue pizzas. They're just kind of a little out there. You got pizza pockets and pizza rolls. So there's all different kinds of categories and things that you can develop when you do pre-writing to come up with an essay on pizzas. And different people would have different essays to write. Now, let's say you're trying to develop some ideas. You can use these questions right here, like the who, what, when, where, why. So who makes the pizza? Who would I buy a pizza for? Let's see. For what reason would I have a pizza? Breakfast. I grab a slice out of the refrigerator on my way to class and eat it while I'm walking to class. Have it for supper. Have it for a snack. You have it for a party, right? So when would I have a pizza? Where could I have pizza? You can have pizza anywhere. You don't even need a plate. The food is its plate, and you eat the plate, and it's gone, right? So all kinds of stuff about pizza. You don't necessarily use all those details, but you get them out of your head onto the paper. Now, this is what I don't allow, is free writing. Sometimes talking will help you generate ideas. And I'll come around and aggravate you, and I'll give you some terrible ideas to write about. And you can say, thanks, Miss Pendergrass, I appreciate it. You don't ever have to use my ideas because sometimes they're really bad. But sometimes my really terrible ideas might lead you to a good one. Okay? So talking, but free writing is not allowed. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a second. Brainstorming. Now, y'all remember brainstorming. That's where you sit there and you write stuff down as fast as you can. Now, some people can't stop themselves and they want to write complete sentences, but I'm going to tell you something. I've been doing this for a long time. So you can believe me. If you sit there and try to write complete sentences while you're pre-writing, you're going to lose about 5 ideas, and you're not going to get them back because they're going to be gone. They might come back, but some of them won't. So brainstorm and write it as fast as you can and get your list, and worry about organizing it later, worry about grammar later, worry about what paragraph it goes in later, all that stuff. You can do the bubble maps. We talked about the little questions, who, what, when, where, why, and all that. So we just talked about that stuff. That's just me reminding myself of what to say. All right. We're not talking about that. We're going to skip to page 24. And it's just some repetition, really, of what I just said. Pre-writing. Why do we pre-write, Anthony? Why bother? That just adds time on to this. It's just another assignment, isn't it? But it can help you narrow down what you actually want to say. It helps you organize. You can't free-write. Now, I'm going to show you some examples in just a second. So that's why I got it all marked out. I tried to make sure it was all marked out in the textbook that you have, too. We've already talked about that. We're going to look at an example. We got some stuff grouped together, but let me ungroup them real quick. See if I can ungroup them real quick. Delete. Ah, nice. I should have deleted these before y'all got here, but I forgot. Delete. Oh, nice. Okay, sweet. Okay. All right, Kat. Like I said, I'm not going to give you a one-word essay topic. I always give you a thesis statement, a bunch of thesis statements to pick from to set your essay up with. Okay, but let's say I did give you a stress topic and your brainstorm looks like that. Now, you know you got to have a 5-paragraph essay. It's going to have an introduction, 3 bodies, and a conclusion. Comp 1's a little different where we kind of get out of that box, but we're going to box ourselves in with this little 5-paragraph structure here for intermediate. Okay. How could I group some of these details together? What goes together? In your mind, there's no right answer.
All that goes with stress.
It does all go with stress. So that's our overall topic. But how can we divide that into 3 categories?
Insomnia.
Okay.
Like tension, irritable, all that seems like, yeah, mental, more mental.
More mental. Okay. Okay.
Anger is anger.
Okay.
Mental.
Let's see if I can get it to change to a different color. Sometimes I can't get it to change.
I think it's circle.
All right, now, what about that and that? Wouldn't those 2 go together?
I feel like that's more like physical.
Okay, so you got some physical stuff, you got some mental stuff going on, and you got some things that actually manifest that you can see happening. And insomnia will lead to these things. Sure, sometimes the details don't quite fit anywhere.
I guess there really is. I guess there's only 2 categories.
Well,
unless you want to say like
what about
environmental factors?
I didn't change my color. I didn't do my color.
Those are physical.
And don't get stuck on, you want to, like, when you're doing your pre-writing, loosely organize things. Don't marry it. Be willing to change the names of your categories if you need to. So you got responsibilities. That could be like, yeah, and work. And then sometimes you might combine two categories and you'll see those two categories go together pretty well. And we'll, in like, Zaria. Which one? Zaria. All right. Zaria's over there thinking, I wouldn't organize that together like that at all. Y'all will organize your details differently. It's perfectly fine. Then you got pressure to succeed. Maybe that pressure to succeed causes test anxiety. And then, like Anthony said, maybe some of that stuff comes from being at home because you got people in your head, right? So you can organize this way. All right, now let's look at some examples of what I like and what I don't like. And you saw this. Some people have already, say, Gentry and Kat have already grabbed one. It's fine. That's what they're out there for. We're going there. Okay. I think you can see that. This is not on your topic. I purposely pulled a different topic so that I wouldn't use up your thoughts and details. Okay. So this is what could cause students from, let's see if they put the topic at the top. What can cause kids to go down the wrong path? Well, having a lack of support. So they're going to put the 3 points up there. So the overall topic is what causes kids to go down the wrong path, Kat? And then there's your 3 points up there. Well, 3 things that can cause kids to go down the wrong path: lack of support, hanging with the wrong people, and not attending school consistently and being in and out of school. All right, then we're going to come down under those points, and you can do this any way you want to with bubbles or your own outline creation or whatever, or you can use this sheet, or you can type it. And then you got some ideas, and you see, I'm not saying you can't have any complete sentences on your paper, but I'm really encouraging you to not try to make complete sentences. Get it out fast. Getting into fights. All right. See the details. You want to have I'll say this 1,000 times. You got to have a story in everybody paragraph. It doesn't have to be true, but you must 100,000% have a story in everybody paragraph. For example, this one time I was talking to my friend and some guy walked up to me and punched me in the side of the head, and I reached up and hit him back. Then I got suspended. Right? Tell me that story, and it doesn't have to be true. Let's look at another one. We'll look at a couple of them. Here's another one. Let's see. Make this a little bigger. She wrote this on a poem, and there was some of the themes in a poem that we read. It's okay. Lonely. It was boy breaking glass. We read a poem in here too. It's about addiction though. Some of y'all might know Micah. He plays baseball. 3 things that helped him stay on the right path: baseball, family, and religion. And you see some grammar stuff. Look, quick, fast little details right here. Boom, boom, boom. Family, religion. You see, I can read that in about 10 seconds, and I can know, okay, we've got it, ready to move on to the next step. He's got enough ideas. He's got some plans. Now, I do like to see the plan for the story on there. But see, he's gonna elaborate on these ideas. Now, let's see what's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Anthony, I ain't taking this. I'm not gonna wade through a draft of your essay or your paragraph to try to figure out if you've got a plan for all 3 body paragraphs. I don't care about the introduction. I don't care about the conclusion on your pre-writing. You can plan it if you want to. If it's in there and you want it out, by all means do it. But what I'm looking for is the plan for the 3-body paragraphs. So I don't want, that's it, just some quick details. Don't do that, because I won't take it. I'll be like, okay, you can do it, but I ain't looking at it. Let's look and see what this other one is. I haven't looked at these in a while. This will give you some. This module is actually in Canvas, so you can access it whenever you want to. Because, Anthony, guess what? You can't do the essay until you get a 99 on the pre-writing. So don't do the essay till you get a 99 on your pre-writing. Because I will put notes on your pre-writing that, I guess it doesn't want to open. We can wait all day. What you doing that for? There. That's not going to work. That does not show me a plan for 3-body paragraphs. I mean, the writing is usually fine, and sometimes it's cute and it's silly and funny. You get the dialect and the country stuff in there, but that does not show me a plan for an essay. So that's not acceptable. That I'm going to put a 0 on. If you have a 0 on your pre-writing, you will get a 0 on the essay. Right, Kat? Let me show you something though, Kat, real quick. We're going back to look at the pre-writing and the topics. So, Anthony, once I talk about pre-writing one time, I don't have to talk about it again because you already know how to do it, right? Why are you so down looking? You're taking my life energy out of me. Don't take my life energy. Let me tell you something right here. So this is what I just said, Kat. Pre-writing gets a 0, your essay gets a 0. And people, it happens every semester. Somebody does this to me. All right. But if you do get a 0, I tell you why in the comments on the side. If I don't tell you right now in your face, like talking to you, I tell you in the comments on the side, and here's where I leave the comments. If you hurry up and fix it and I can grade it, then you can do the essay. But don't do the essay till I get that pre-writing in it, till we get that pre-writing where it needs to be. If you get 100 on the pre-writing, it's good to go. Because sometimes I'll go in there and I'll fix grammar, even though I'm not marking for grammar, I don't care about it. I will go in there and fix grammar so that you don't carry that grammar over to the essay. So if there's a 99, I fixed something, or I made suggestions, and some of my suggestions are terrible. Don't forget that. So you don't have to take all my suggestions for ideas. But if you made a 99, there's some comments. If you make 100, it's good. I didn't make any comments. I didn't fix any grammar. Just do it. If you make below a 99, don't start that essay. And you won't be able to turn it in because the essay is not going to unlock anyway. All right. If you forget everything I just said and you want some more examples, this is me. This is Mr. Wiggins. Okay? Mr. Wiggins is nice. But, and you just fast forward to that minute, and that's where he starts talking. He's very nice. He's very kind soul, though. He is. He's very nice. Okay, so let's look at, all right. So you can use these or don't. Totally up to you. It doesn't matter to me. Some kids like them, some kids don't. If you like you don't worry about what it says in the box. You make you make this work for you.
What about the other?
Don't worry about the.
What about the other? Okay.
You don't have to put anything in introduction if you want to. You want to do some kind of typing thing, that's cool. So which topic, y'all take a minute and pick your, they're written as thesis statements. We'll talk about thesis statements later. But you can use it word for word like that, or you can fold with it a little. Now, if you did 3 dreams, not all you can do either. So that's kind of a narrative essay.
Disruptor sleep, also. Let's see.
And you can just go off on it and just get mad about it.
I know, yeah, I'm about to go off, for real.
Yeah, I love an essay that just goes off and just complains, because I like to complain. Because I don't know if that's a girl thing or just a my personality thing, but oh, I love to complain about stuff.
You wanna hear complaining?
Love it.
One day we have to condition, all you hear is complaining,
Mhm.
and the weight room too. So,
This doesn't have to be tidy and neat. You don't have to worry about if your details are good or not. You're just trying to get the ideas down. We're worried about turning it into an essay later. So who's got one pick so I can pick on?
I'm picking I'm gonna do the first one, I think.
And you can do the same ones, it doesn't matter on, you're not gonna write the same essay. So you're gonna do the first one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Either that one or, the one where I would improve my life.
Right. So, and I see people plan 2 essays all the time and then they pick which one was the best one. So what is something, man, you get so aggravated and it disrupts your sleep?
You have to use the bathroom.
Oh gosh, every
That's
night, every night. So maybe write that down in topic 1. We'll worry about whether it works later. We can always change it. All right, what's something else that disrupts your sleep? Okay, nightmares. Wake up terrified. So maybe put that in the second block.
I don't really have nightmares, I think it's really just,
Or you get hot.
I don't have a fan.
Okay, so you got it, so the rooms, okay, so if you get hot, right? You get too hot. Now, you get cold, it don't wake me up as bad as when I get hot though. I get cold,
I can't sleep.
I can put some blankets on.
When before I go to sleep, if I'm thinking about something, I will stay up all night.
So worries and stress or something will disrupt your sleep. So there's 3 blocks right there.
That's why I'm dreaming. I think that's why I'm dreaming.
All right, so once you get those 3 blocks filled in, just stop for a second. Let your brain catch up to where you are. And let's look at the first one. And I'll just talk. I'll just go off on going to the bath, having to use the bathroom because I'm obviously at that awesome age where that happens to me every night. So my little details under there, like I start monitoring how much I'm drinking, like about 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I gotta have time. So monitor how much I drink. And then I try to go to the bathroom before bed. And then sure enough, at 2 a.m. or some terrible hour like that, I'm gonna wake up. Then so just like the process of how it goes down. So this whole paragraph ends up being about how going to the bathroom disrupts my sleep. Then I go in the bathroom, and I'm scared of the dark. So I don't have a night light in my bathroom, so I got to turn on this bright white light, and it's just all in my eyes. Of course, by the time I do that, I'm wide awake now. So all those are details that go in my body paragraph. You make the reader feel and experience what you're going through. Because you want them to feel, if you're feeling aggravated, then you want your reader to feel aggravated. And then we talked about the fans. You want the room to be nice and cold. Like we talked about this last class. I'll turn the heat off. All the heat off in the house, unless it's like one of those ice storm type situations. Now, I gotta get up in a cold house in the morning, but I do not like to sleep with the heat on.
I can't sleep either. I'll leave it running hot all day, it's real cold, and I'll turn it off at night, or just open the door and keep some of it in, fix the air.
So the whole thing, the whole sentence,
You can. I don't care about introductions and conclusions on pre-writing, but you can use that block to kind of stick your topic up there.
So my support ideas, like using the bathroom disrupts my sleep, would be like I have to get up, dead sleep.
Yeah, dead sleep. So put those little words in there, because dead sleep, that's a good vivid image Like you're so asleep, you don't even know you were on this planet, and then all of a sudden, your tummy's like all, like I gotta go, I gotta get up, I can't even, cause you'll try to shift around a little bit, you know, like, oh, I can wait, I can.
Turn on the lights.
Yeah, turn on those lights.
I use sick on my night, I think. Like, yeah,
Yeah, you, being sick,
You know, like, when you try to go to sleep, like, your nose be so stop working.
okay, yeah,
I
definitely.
have to open my eyes.
You know that.
Mm-hmm. And you have, like, your nose is stopped up, you're having to breathe through your
Yeah, you
throat.
can't breathe instead, you just one good
And then you
time.
have to wipe your eyes too, because you can't see anything.
And then your throat's like burning, cause it's so raw from breathing that air, that dry air in through your,
You just
Wow.
coughing on like that.
then coughing, and then your throat starts itching, then you're like, see, when you get older, you're gonna have a little bowl of candy or a bag of coffee. See, y'all are young, y'all don't have that stuff sitting by your bed. But I have, like, I woke up last night, my throat was itching, but I had forgot to put the cough drops right next to me. So I was reaching around for them, couldn't find them. By the time I did all that, I was wide awake at 4 o'clock in the morning. I still had 2 hours to sleep. But that's the story that you tell, right?
Right.
Tell that I always describe it as this, y'all know some really old people. You go see the old folks, right? And you're ready to leave. So you start trying to ease your way to the car, but they're still talking.
Yeah.
And then you're like standing at the front
I
door.
start coughing.
You got your foot out the door, right? You get one foot out the door, one foot's in the house, and they're steady still telling you a story. And then you make it out onto the porch, and then you make it to the car, and then you like put, well, we used to roll windows up, but you like put, and you just have to leave. Well, that's what you do in your paragraphs. You might think that you're telling the most boring details, but you're not. Just tell that whole story, and that's your paragraph. That's where the details come from. But you got to plan this whole story out so that you know those vivid images to put in there, so that when I see that bright, blinding light from the bathroom piercing your eyeballs, then I feel it the way you felt it.
What should I write for, family?
Supreme details.
Yeah, what should I write
What's
for,
that right for?
getting hot?
Okay, so do you have a fan?
No, that's probably another reason why I don't sleep good at night.
So write that down, need a fan.
Yeah,
Write that down, need a fan. Can I talk about it out loud? You don't care? Okay. Let's see. 3 things that help me sleep. Hours I need to have sleep. 8 hours. So you try to go to bed at a reasonable time. What keeps you up till, what makes you want to stay up till 2 a.m.? You don't know? You ever like scrolling and streaming, just
My
thinking?
phone's always dead, so it's always in the bed.
Man, if I was trying to lay there and think and be by myself, I would drive myself crazy. That would keep me up. Alright. Let's see. We got a lot going on, got a lot of details here. But we need a clear direction and organization, we need an overall idea. Oh, yeah, right? Oh, okay. Hold on. What you got here is 3 essays planned. Yeah. It happens, I see it all the time. But see, this is why we do this, so that you don't write 500 words on this, right? Things you do to get to sleep. Turn on fan, turn on some, what's that word? Okay, what is lo-fi?
It's like a, type of beat thing.
Okay.
It's like, puts on like soothing beats.
That's interesting. See, I love learning something new, and I'm curious and nosy about your life, like literally nosy. Oh, and learning sounds, that's interesting. So the background noise.
Yeah. I don't have, it could be my other
Saying something, let me get my pencil, because I'll break all the lead out of your pencil. Okay, I'm gonna move mine out with some more space right here. This is what I'm thinking is gonna be introduction information. Let's save that for another day. It's common, but that's gonna be introduction. I'm thinking 3 things that help you get to sleep, right? It's gonna be cool air. I'm thinking cool. Maybe it's just the air, fresh air. Right? Then sounds, background noise. No stress, getting rid of stress, right? That's peace. Maybe those are related. Maybe all that's related to peace. Get to a place of peace. Something like that. Now you may, remember I said some of my ideas are terrible. So you may have to come up with different things than this. I have huge issues because my brain won't stop. It never stops. It's just like, hey Kayla, can you hear me? That was rude. I shouldn't have yelled her name out like that. She had stepped out. We're ready for you though. Cody's gonna come around and aggravate you like I
You
did.
think I have enough ideas and he needs help too?
I'm about to head your way. So 3 things that help you sleep. Bundle and love. So, when you say bundle up, 2 covers. Alright, now my blankets are pretty special. I love my blankets. What kind of blankets you got going on? Anything. They're working, if you wanna check their, like, help them come up with details. This is our first time kind of generating details and stories and stuff. 2 covers. Do you have like a light one and a heavy one? Both heavy? You don't have one of those weighted blankets, do you? You know what I'm talking about though? But do you like it when it feels like you feel kind of cuddled? Yeah.
Practice.
Do you use the same blankets all the time? But you said you just grab whatever.
Again.
One day though, go out to pick that blanket out. One day. Ooh, all right, maybe not. Pull them up.
What did you see my jacket?
Your jacket. The jacket you have on? Hoodie. So you like to be warm like in your little cocoon, your little nest? You don't like it too warm? Is that what you just said?
I like it, I just like being like cold and like,
I gotta have noise. I have stuff I listen to all night, and if it cuts off,
I think of 3 things.
I wake up.
Day,
I will wake right up. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if bundle up's working out to be a good one yet or not. It may be that this could be the temperature. So in the bed, you're bundled up, but the outside air, this outside, you want it to be fresh and moving with the fan, right? So I don't know if is that a temperature category? And then you gotta be at peace. Maybe. So, and that's with the noise.
But
Let's do one on those.
like,
Maybe one paragraph on
Around the
those.
stretch, right?
Yeah. And you got the lo-fi. And you got the fan. And the rain sound. I bet you sleep good when it actually does that. And like a good thunderstorm. Oh my gosh. I do that like when somebody fills my hair. And I used to teach 8th grade kids to play my hair. And I would instantly. I used to teach 8th grade. That's what I started. What, bud? What, man? I just like playing my hair. They feel like, they're little kids still. I'm just gonna kind of stuff playing. You don't want to play my hair? Okay. Prayer. I wonder if you could write a whole paragraph about prayer. So you like release stress of the
Like, he
day?
need
Do you pray for other people? Do you pray about tomorrow? Okay, so you might tell me about that process and how, you know, how you feel, how long do you pray? That kind of stuff. So see if you can get some details, see how that's working. Are y'all good?
I got, you don't see what I got.
Mine's-
I can have more, but.
And you can know what you're doing.
I took that one out, because I didn't think it made sense, I put school and, football down there and practice.
And like tomorrow, when you look at this, like after it marinates for night, you might go, okay, I know what I wanna do with this, or you'll add something.
We did it pretty right.
This is it, this is the pre-writing, and I'm gonna show you tomorrow how to take this and turn it into an essay.
Oh, so.
And Kat will be like, no, you didn't just do that whole shit. It doesn't have to be titled. This is it, you're gonna take a picture of it and submit it.
I don't know what else is there.
Nothing. We're gonna talk about introductions and conclusions another day.
I'm gonna take a picture of this and submit it.
100%. Now you're done. What's that, guy? I wanna try to ignore y'all over here.
I mean, you can,
Let's
the
see.
one's right, the one's.
It's right by sleep. Can I call this out? All right, y'all listen up. Zay's got a good one over here. And it took me 3 seconds to realize that he had a good one because he's got it organized. 3 things that disrupt his sleep are school, people, and heat. Getting up too early, too many classes, long classes, way too much work. So he's gonna tell me some stories. Now, when he says way too much work, he can say, for example, Mr. Atkinson gave us 150 problems to work this weekend. I could not even relax enough to get to sleep, go off on it. Tell me a story about it. So Kat, when you get in there to write this paragraph, don't just tell me that there's too much work at school. Now, give me an example. Just go off on it. All right, and then people, somebody's always calling his phone. Now, who are these people? Now, the instant question that pops in my head, who's calling you, Zay? Who's bothering you? Always needing something. So, for example, my Uncle Rob called me at 1 o'clock in the morning, wanting to know where his tire tool was because he had a flat on the side of the interstate. Right? Okay? So tell me the story. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes stories are 1 or 2 sentences. Sometimes it's the whole paragraph is a story. Telling me to get up, knocking on your door. Who's knocking on your door? So he's got lots of stories he can tell. Can't sleep hard. Alright, good deal. Very good. Questions, questions, questions. That's what you gotta do. Ask those questions.
What about,
Okay. 3 drinks. That's it.
They don't say prewriting.
I do have your stuff, y'all stuff downloaded to grade. You're right, you're written items. Okay, I sent y'all, before y'all leave, I sent y'all a reminder. Even if you, like, on the notes from 118, you may have turned the notes in, it's fine. But I sent you a reminder to say, don't forget to turn in your plagiarism assignment. The notes and stuff from previous days, because Kat, I will put zeros in.
where do you submit the pre-writing at?
Is it awake? It should be awake.
Wait.
Awake means you can see it on your end. Let me make sure, like it's woke up. It's published. Let me see what would be holding you up from turning it in.
Where is that?
It's in module, it's in the sleep module. And all you had to do was submit the nightmare, so it should be open. It goes right there. I don't want you to be thinking too hard about the essay. Don't think too hard.
And like, I'm with, where you going to jail for
Those stories go off on those details, whether they're true or not.
What's it called?
It's like the fourth module down. Did you go into modules?
Yes, something like
What's it called?
Sleep pre-writing.
it. Okay, hold up, there it is. There
Now,
it is.
don't lose this, because when you fooling around with this tomorrow, you may think of something else. Okay. Your mind will be thinking about this. Remember when you go to sleep at night? Your mind thinks about all this stuff, so you may come up with something a little different tomorrow. Little stories to tell me and all that stuff.
It's not even a bad dream, it's getting pulled over. It's real.
All right, whenever you turn your pre-writing in, you're free to go. You stay as long as you want to. Yeah, but you're free to go.
I turned mine in, this was, this is big.
Oh, y'all got scavenger hunts, and Kayla and I will both be here. Kayla will be here till 5, and I'll be here till 6. If you need help with anything.
You wanna know some more sense in it?
There's some open.
What are those?
I will tell you before I lock them. Some of the-
I forgot about that.
I know, that's why I'm like reminding y'all.
I got one.
There's one, these are supposed to be open. This is kind of what we're talking about right now.
I'll do that. I guess I have to go to the library. then.
Yeah, or you can come in the computer lab till 6,
Okay.
and we'll help you get the answers. You can see Zay over here, he's adding stuff to his pre-writing. The more you have on your pre-writing, the easier the essay is.
Roll out to the cafeteria. Cafeteria food.
Take a picture of it.
Take a picture of it and turn it into where it says sleep pre-writing. I try not to take up anything if I can help it. But why were you late today?
I had to go to the housing earlier.
Uh-huh.
That was my first class, so I had to go to, I had to go to housing because they kept saying I was in the dorm room.
Okay.
And I called myself, we're gonna go and do it. I ain't know it was gonna take that long.
Right, I got you.
I went to like around about 10:45, and then I went to housing, and they sent me to the business office.
They get your housing situated though, because that'd be hard to,
I can't eat lunch and stuff. And they were like,
right. And that'd be hard to focus if you're trying to think about where do I live now, right? Okay, so I appreciate you telling me. The class is recorded, so if you want to go back and see what we did earlier. A lot of it's just the recording is running. Oh.